What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Litcoin today at the request of Isaiah Fields. Isaiah, I did not forget about you. I figured this video might require its own attention. Let's call it attention. I didn't have enough time yesterday, so we're talking about it now. We are going to go over the LTC USD pair, but this chart, well, the reason why it might look different is because it's the BCH pair, LTC versus BCH. The reason why someone might want to watch or analyze a chart like this is because you want to see how it's going to do versus Bitcoin Cash specifically. And I did make a call recently that gave some opened the door, let's say, to the possibility of Litecoin outperforming Bitcoin Cash this cycle. I think Bitcoin Cash is going to outperform Bitcoin this cycle. Litecoin could do the same, but for it to outperform Bitcoin Cash, I think would be crazy in itself. Looking at the monthly RSI, it looks very terrible, but the monthly RSI, it takes a long time to adjust, so that doesn't mean you have to go lower. Let's get started. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. If we look at this thing from, I don't know where to draw the fibs from, man. I don't even know if I want to draw fibs. So maybe I won't draw fibs from like an extended standpoint, but from a low point here on a low monthly closing basis, you did close right at previous areas of support, which would indicate potentially that you're at a reversal point, that you might start building out of this. If we look at this on a weekly perspective, the weekly RSI does look rather productive, other than the fact that you have higher highs in the RSI while having lower highs in the price itself. So that in itself is called hidden bearish divergence. That's not normally a good thing from a high to a low perspective. That would actually normally call that you'd go lower. The fact that you went just above your 382 and you're looking like you want to close below it also kind of looks like you want to go down. Perhaps Litecoin versus Bitcoin Cash moves down. You get some kind of double bottom. Maybe you move down just a little bit and then you move up. Maybe you move lower. Who knows? And all that would mean, that wouldn't mean that Litecoin itself goes down versus the US dollar. It would just mean that it would go down versus Bitcoin Cash. And likely what that would mean is that Bitcoin Cash is just growing at a faster rate than Litecoin is. That's really all that would mean. It does look, in my opinion, like you're rejecting this 50 area. That's also not a good look. You would normally from this move back to your 40 and hope to find support there. If not, you could go as low as your oversold zone and hope to find support there. Anywhere in between would do as well. But that's kind of the two prominent expected results that we could see. It does look like you've broken this long-term downtrend. It absolutely does, so that's nice to see. I will say that much. Relatively speaking, you might move down, but this long-term trend being broken on the RSI does give me some hope that that is your low. You probably won't go below that, and you're looking like you want to move higher, which would be nice, right? Which would imply that Litecoin might actually grow versus Bitcoin Cash, at least at various points in this cycle, right? At least more than it is now. Relatively speaking, I think it goes down, but throughout the cycle, you're at 0.19 versus Bitcoin Cash right now. 0.19 Bitcoin Cashes for every Litecoin. Perhaps you move up to 0.28, even 0.42 or 0.48, somewhere around there. That wouldn't be too crazy at all. As far as seeing new highs go, I don't know. This was in an uptrend versus Bitcoin Cash, but Bitcoin Cash, you guys, this cycle, it's doing different things, and I think Litecoin is seeing the repercussions of that. Again, versus Bitcoin Cash. It all depends on when and if and when Litecoin breaks out to new all-time highs. Because when that happens, I would assume that this thing could start to gain some traction versus BCH. I don't know. Looking at the daily, it looks like it wants to go down. Yeah, looking at the daily, it does look like it wants to go down. That's not a good-looking daily RSI. 4-hour RSI also looks sad, so I bet it does move down in the relatively immediate terms. Let's look at LTC USD on Coinbase here. Nice on the 4-hour, looking like you want to move up. So it's moving down versus Bitcoin Cash, but moving up overall. That would just mean that Bitcoin Cash and LTC might move up together, but BCH moves up more. You are at a point on the 4-hour. It does look good. It really does look good. But you're also at a point where you might turn around from here. And then on a daily perspective, it also looks like you might turn around in this RSI. You could go up a little bit higher. right? And that would make sense too, because if it goes up a little bit higher, I could see BCH moving up a little bit higher too. But relatively speaking, in a short amount of time, I would expect it to go lower. I don't think that it'll go below this low, and the reason why I don't think it's going to go below this low is because it's holding a very long-term trend that it's been in for years now, right? For multiple cycles. If we look at this low and we compare it to that low there, I mean, you've already literally bounced right off of this line here. Like literally tipped it. So I don't think you're going to go below there, but you could interact with this line again, or certainly, you know, you could go back below like $65. That could happen. It's hard to say. I want to go back to the LTC USD versus BCH USD chart. It just looks like it wants to move down, man. I can't be bullish on this, which is just so odd because Litecoin looks like it wants to move up, and I think Bitcoin Cash wants to move down. The only way that that would make sense is if I'm wrong on Bitcoin Cash and it actually moves up. So this chart could actually be more bullish for Bitcoin Cash than I was thinking. But the weekly itself does look like it wants to move down. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it does want to move down. I think you will see somewhat either of a higher low or a double bottom, something like that. I don't think you'll move below that, but that's my genuine opinion. As far as will it see new all-time highs versus Bitcoin Cash, that remains to be seen. And, you know, perhaps we could do a rough assumption on that based on where I think both of them are going for the end of their cycles, right? So if we look at this right here, BCH USDT on Binance from a, maybe not on that actually, we should do Coinbase because it has more history. From an all-time high to an all-time low perspective, you know, a $13,000 to a $23,000 range. That's what I'm expecting for Bitcoin Cash. From the current price, that would be about a 33, 34x to potentially a 60x, let's just say, like 61x, okay? Then LTC 33, 34x to a 61x, 33, 34, 61. Come on. And then we're thinking it's pretty similar, just a little bit more than BCH, sure. And then I think it could move all the way up to like 6K. If it moved to 6K, then yes, it would outpace Bitcoin Cash this cycle. I don't think you'd have enough to see new highs versus Bitcoin Cash, but you would definitely grow versus Bitcoin Cash this cycle. And the reason why I have that is that's kind of the measure move of this ascending triangle that you're in, right? The measure move would be from here to here. You put it at the top. Oh, man. Is that right? Was I wrong? I thought I said 6K. Is that... What is happening right now? Hold up now. LTC USD. Right? Because here's your ascending triangle. Okay. There's that. There's that, your ascending triangle. You'd measure from the base of your triangle to the top of your triangle. And you put your measure move right there. Why is it 60? It's different on Coinbase. I think Coinbase has a different high on its first cycle. That might be why. 373. This one's at 420. That's why. Okay, so Coinbase, but on Binance, it's at 383. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I guess it just all depends, man. It all depends. If this is an ascending triangle and it breaks out and it follows the measure move, then yes, I would think it outpaces Bitcoin Cash. If not, then maybe it stays on par with Bitcoin Cash. It's not that it'll like outgrow it or lose value versus it, but maybe it just kind of keeps up with it. Of course, that would assume that you at least hit this 1618 area. But you might stop at your 1272 or 1414 as well. It all depends. I don't want the tone of this video to mislead anybody. I am bullish on Litecoin. I do think it'll break above $2,000. My expectation is $2,500 at a minimum. But I do think it really stands a chance to go, I guess, from $6,000 to $7,000. It really does stand a chance to go there. But it's hard to say. I wouldn't base that $7,000 target off of anything too concrete because that's just on Coinbase those numbers come from. and Coinbase is the only chart that has the $420 high, so it might not be the most accurate read. And again, measure moves themselves are just ideas. You don't have to hit that move. You can fall below it, you can exceed it, whatever. Unfortunately, though, I'm not getting a lot out of this chart, other than I think it is going to lose value versus Bitcoin Cash soon. So if Litecoin looks like it wants to move up, or at least not move lower, that's actually kind of encouraging for the BCH. This actually might be better for the BCH case, right? From the current price to go down here, that's a 17.7. I don't think it's going to go below there. 17.7%. BCH USD. Maybe Bitcoin Cash doesn't go lower, guys. The only way that it would go lower, the only way that it would go lower is if this chart continues to gain value versus Bitcoin Cash. Which it could. I don't think that it will. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to be wrong about one of them. Maybe it does gain value versus Bitcoin Cash. It's really hard to say. Maybe it doesn't lose as much value as I'm thinking it's going to versus Bitcoin Cash. Maybe it does. That would be the only thing that would make sense. I don't know. I don't know, man. Head scratcher. I'm left with more questions than answers after this video. So anyways, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content. I'm going to mull this over and think about it, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.